The way detergent removes soils from your laundry is by loosening the soils so that they come out of the fibers of your clothing, and then bonding to the soil so that everything can be flushed out together during the rinse cycle. If you use too much detergent or the wrong kind of detergent, the excess detergent molecules react with the water molecules instead of the soil, since there isn't any soil left for them to attach themselves to. Detergent or the wrong kind of detergent, your washing machine doesn't have any way of knowing that, so it won't rinse for long enough or with enough water to effectively rinse all of the extra suds out of your laundry and your machine. When your washer goes to drain the rinse water, those dirty detergent bubbles will remain on top of the water and then on top of your laundry once the washer drains out as much water as it can.
Okay, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about why too many suds is actually bad for your laundry. Now, I don't know how many times I have to say this to a lot of my customers or even my staff about having too many bubbles isn't the best thing to have. And I'm hoping with this video here, she can actually say a little more eloquently, better than I can, in regard to why too many suds actually does the opposite effect of cleaning your clothes. Even though you believe when you see all the suds, you're actually getting your stuff clean, but in essence, you're not. So let's take a look at this video. I may pause, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna let it go through and we're gonna see what happens after that. All right, let's get active.
Not only do they do absolutely nothing to help clean your clothes, they actually make your laundry even dirtier.
What?
The way detergent removes soils from your laundry is by loosening the soils so that they come out of the fibers of your clothing, and then bonding to the soil so that everything can be flushed out together during the rinse cycle. If you use too much detergent or the wrong kind of detergent, the excess detergent molecules react with the water molecules instead of the soil, since there isn't any soil left for them to attach themselves to. Bubbles form in soapy water because the surfactant molecules lower the surface tension of the water molecules, pushing them apart from each other. The combination of water and surfactants creates a thin film, which traps air and forms into bubbles. Bubbles created during the wash cycle will also pick up some of the soils that are still loose and floating around in the dirty wash water, which is why the rinse cycle is so important. But
very much
if you use
so.
too much detergent or the wrong kind of detergent, your washing machine doesn't have any way of knowing that, so it won't rinse for long enough or with enough water to effectively rinse all of the extra suds out of your laundry and your machine. When your washer goes to drain the rinse water, those dirty detergent bubbles will remain on top of the water and then on top of your laundry once the washer drains out as much water as it can. The force of the spin cycle will then pull the excess water out, but the soils will be redeposited into the fibers of your clothing. And any excess that doesn't wind up inside the fibers of your clothing will start to build up on the internal parts of your washing machine.
Very
This
true.
is why your washing machine or your clothing may smell bad at the end of a cycle if you either use too much laundry detergent or if your machine already has a detergent buildup from previous instances of using too much. In addition to redepositing dirty detergent water onto your clothing, too many suds prevent a good wash by cushioning the clothes from rubbing against one another.
Facts.
It's this rubbing that helps the clothes get as clean as possible. So basically, too many suds has the exact opposite effect from what most people.
So essentially, I'm gonna pause right real quick. Essentially, what she's saying is, even when you have too many suds, the clothes need to agitate. If they're unable to agitate due to the extra film of soap that you have there, essentially, you're not even getting rid of the dirty parts of the clothes. So if you have like maybe a ketchup stain, whatever it is, a food stain, or whatever is on your clothes, because the clothes can't agitate together by rubbing against the same fibers, it's going to take even longer to even get those stains out. And also, your clothes aren't just not getting clean. Let's continue.
Your clothes are not getting clean. Not only can suds prevent your laundry from getting clean, but they can also prevent your washing machine from draining properly by creating a condition commonly referred to as suds lock. If there are too many bubbles, your washing machine's drain pump can't pull them all out. Think of it like trying to finish a drink that had foam or whipped cream on top. At the very end of the drink, when all the liquid is gone and you're trying to get the last of that foam through your straw, it doesn't really work unless you move the straw around.
Correct.
This is because once all the liquid is gone, the tiny bubbles forming that foam are too light. They cling to the insides of the cup, breaking suction from the straw and preventing the straw from being able to suck them up. Your washing machine's drain pump is stuck where it is. It can't move around to pull out all of the bubbles that cling to your washing machine and your laundry once all the water is gone. So those dirty, soapy bubbles remain inside the washer and begin to form a buildup inside of your machine and inside of your laundry if you let it go for long enough, which is why clothing can start to look dingy. A buildup inside.
Now also, like when you get that smell, I'm not sure if you might mention this, but even when you get that smell, it's always good to actually clean out your wash machine with doing like a bleach rinse after your clothes are done. This way it gets rid of all of that excess dirt that's in there. And also, when you see that big buildup of suds, you also need fabric softener. Fabric softener, yes, it helps with, softening the clothes, the fibers of the clothes, and reducing the static, but also it helps with reducing the amount of suds build up in the machine as well.
You're gonna learn today.
So people have a tendency of putting way too much fabric softener when they also put a lot of detergent, and because they want to get the extra smell essentially, but you're also ruining the drum of your washing machine as well by creating even more buildup. So let's continue on. She might bring that up in this video, but who knows? Let's continue.
Your washing machine can cause a wide variety of different issues, including making your washing machine shake or go out of balance more often, preventing your washing machine from fully draining, clothing getting stained when excess bits of that buildup begin to flake off, making your washing machine and your laundry stink, and more. Especially with modern-day laundry detergents that are super concentrated, and with high-efficiency washing machines that use less water, it's easier than ever to use too much laundry.
I know she said a lot of detergents are super concentrated. I kind of beg to differ. A lot of it is actually watered down now. I mean, unless you get, like one of the Tide that says 10x whatever it is, but a lot of it is actually watered down, which is why a lot of people I think are just using so much extra soap because they don't see enough suds, quote unquote, in their laundry. And again, we've been fooled by marketing. They want to see those extra suds in the clothes. So, but I'll have to disagree with her. It's not as concentrated like it used to be, and today a lot of it's watered down.
Detergent, which is why it's important to maintain your washing machine by running a washing machine cleaning product through it about once a month, even if you think you don't use too much detergent. Even if you don't use too much detergent, it's important to make sure you're using the correct kind of detergent. If you have a high-efficiency washing machine, using the correct kind of detergent for your machine makes a much bigger difference. This is because high-efficiency washers wash your clothes by washing with less water for a longer amount of time. Because they agitate your clothing for longer, HE washers don't need to use a lot of water, or even hot water, to get your clothes just as clean as older washing machines. Assuming you're using them correctly, of course. The trade-off of having a longer cycle time allows them to use less water, and having less weight in the drum and not needing to use hot water allows HE washing machines to use even less electricity despite the longer cycle times. While this is a great improvement in terms of sustainability, using less water means the detergent doesn't get as diluted, which means that if you use too much detergent or the wrong kind of detergent, a detergent buildup can occur much more quickly and can cause more issues if the washing machine is not being properly maintained. If you have a high-efficiency washing machine, you should only be using laundry detergents that are made to be used in HE washing machines. These products will always have the HE logo somewhere on the packaging, as shown here.
All right.
One of the easiest ways to tell if a soap or detergent is okay to use in your high-efficiency washing machine is to see if it creates excessive suds that want to hang around. Because if it does, it shouldn't go in your washer. The reason why it's so important to use high-efficiency laundry detergent in a high-efficiency washing machine is because HE detergents will often contain suds-reducing agents to prevent them from foaming up, while non-HE or low-quality soaps and detergents will produce too many bubbles to work correctly in an HE machine.
Like the ones, for example, powder detergents are the type of detergent she's referring to that are not really good for high efficiency machines because they don't have those bubble reducing agents in them. So people who like using powder, and especially with the laundry cocktails that I've seen people using on high efficiency machines, you're gonna get your machines being broken down even more so.
First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Just because you're putting so much extra powder and you want to see that sub buildup and whatnot in the machines.
To better explain what I'm talking, soaps and detergents used, whether they're the correct substance for the not. Into each test tube, I've filled it the rest of the way with water.
All right, so before she even gets into her tests in this matter, a few things I want to break down. A lot of times, even if you see high efficiency detergent on the bottle, it's best to measure your detergent. A lot of people just don't do that because they need to see those extra suds in the wash. Now also, cold water detergents are actually, as I was thinking about it, those are probably more concentrated because typically the formulas and chemicals of detergents don't break down or get activated, I should say, in warm to hot water. So when things get in warm and hot water, you actually start seeing more of the suds. With the cold water formula, typically they need to make it more concentrated so it actually can activate in the lower temperatures versus the warm or the hot temperature. Even though it says cold water, it's not really cold in the machine. It's really like a lukewarm type of temperature, so it's not really cold. So even I think most ingredients activate at a 70-degree Fahrenheit temperature. Cold water typically is at a 55 to 60 degree Fahrenheit temperature, I believe. Again, every machine is slightly different, but typically they follow some kind of standard in regards to what's cold cycle, warm cycle, and a hot cycle. So, but I'm gonna let her continue on with her experiment in regards to the soap. I may cut this out, who knows, but let's go.
Experiment is to see which of these substances produces the most suds and to see how long the suds produced linger once the water is still. If a soap, detergent, or other cleaning agent produces a lot of suds that take a long time to pop, that's a substance that shouldn't be used in your washing machine. Because again, suds are bad, y'all. Okay, onto the experiment. First, I put a tiny amount of each substance into their respective test tubes. For liquids, I did a single drop. For the solid soap bars, I did a small shaving of the bar, and for the detergent sheet, I tore off a tiny corner of it. Then I filled each test tube with roughly 1 tablespoon of water at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. In a washing machine, 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit is generally considered cold.
All right, so yeah, I was off, but I knew that 60 degrees is typically when it gets activated. But again, she may be talking about that's probably the standard temperature. I think some of the machines are slightly different, but I think she's gonna probably talk about the hot.
Degrees Fahrenheit is considered warm, and the hot side is usually around 130 degrees Fahrenheit. So while 72 degrees Fahrenheit is in the middle of the cold range, different fabrics and soils require different temperatures to be clean.
Correct.
The majority of laundry detergents on the market are rated to work at temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so 72 should work just fine. I did my best to get the water level of each of them equal, but honestly, because it's such a small amount of water to begin with, and because the detergents and soaps are so concentrated, the slightly different amounts here wouldn't even be enough to skew the data. So I'm not that worried about it. I then put the cap on each test tube and shook all of them together with the same amount of force the same number of times. We want to see some bubbles because there aren't any soils in this water, so bubbles are to be expected, but we don't want to see excessive bubbles. The initial results from this gentle agitation were pretty much what I expected. Going from least amount of suds created to the most, the control tube of plain water made a few bubbles from being shaken, but they all popped pretty much instantly. The bar hand soap and laundry detergent bar made the least amount of bubbles. Not because they're good for your washing machine, but because solid soap bars like that are designed for hand washing only and to break down in hot water. This water was too cold and didn't have enough agitation like you would get with hand washing for them to properly break down, which is why you should never use solid soap bars in your washing machine. Yes, even if you grate them, because again, this was just a tiny shaving of one of those bars.
And with the laundry soap, again, that's why I kind of don't like using them myself. Zope has a laundry bar soap, and they actually have a shaved soap. It's not really, it's pretty much shavings of the laundry soap. Again, it's an old school detergent, but they don't really work well with, high efficiency machines that use less water because it takes more water to break those shavings down. I'm pretty sure they might have changed the formula since I've last tested it, but again, laundry bar soap isn't always the best. So, but let's continue.
Efficiency laundry detergent had the next lowest amount of bubbles, which is exactly what we want here. Some bubbles, but not excessive bubbles. Non-high efficiency laundry detergent, and for the record, I used the same brand as the HE detergent, but this one very specifically did not have the HE logo on the bottle, had slightly more bubbles than the HE version. Liquid dish soap had the next highest amount of suds. A lot of people use liquid dish soap either as a stain-free treat or to get their whites whiter. If you're going to use it as a pre-treat, just make sure you let that soak in and do its job, but make sure you rinse it out before putting it into your washing machine. As for making your whites whiter, if you want to do that job without making suds, bluing liquid is the product you're looking for, and it's been around since the 1800s.
Facts.
After dish soap, the detergent sheet made the next highest amount of suds. If you weren't aware, many different people have tested out detergent sheets and have found that they're consistently rated among the worst performing detergents on the market, cleaning only marginally better than water alone. So the fact that they also make some of them.
So basically, she's telling you that, most detergent sheets are a scam. They don't work well. I've tested them out. They're okay, but they're really good for delicate items or one or two items that you're going to actually wash. So if you were on a camping trip or somewhere, detergent sheets probably work well because you're not really washing a lot of clothes. So, but again, they're not going to perform well when it comes to large loads, especially in a high efficiency machine.
Suds isn't that surprising to me. And finally, the substance that made the most suds during the gentle agitation was a dish power spray. This is also a very popular product used as a stain-free treat, and everything I said about liquid dish soap goes for this as well. Except in some cases, this product is even worse because it's even more concentrated. After the gentle agitation test, I performed a heavy agitation test, shaking each test tube much more vigorously for the same amount of time each. A heavier agitation allowed more of the different soaps and detergents to break down better because we're compensating for that lower temperature with a higher mechanical action. In In that respect, it's similar to the difference between a front-loading washing machine and a top-loading washing machine. The downside of a higher mechanical action in a washing machine is that it's rougher on your clothes. So your clothes will get more faded, pill more quickly, and will generally wear down faster in a machine with an agitator due to the increased water temperatures and mechanical action. After shaking each tube, I then let them sit for around 10 minutes, and these were the results. Again, the tube with the least amount of suds was the water, which was the control. The tube with the next lowest amount of suds was the hand soap, which may be a little surprising, but this is because hand soaps are made for your hands and often contain lotions. These lotions can reduce the amount of bubbles, but they also deposit onto your laundry. Lotions in laundry can make your clothes dingy and leave stains, so leave the lotions for your hands. Then, in third and fourth place, respectively, for least amount of suds, we again have high-efficiency laundry detergent and non-high-efficiency laundry detergent. Wow, it's almost like these laundry detergents were made to be used in a washing machine. Tied, no pun intended, for fifth and sixth place were the solid detergent bar and the dish power spray, with the detergent sheet following closely behind in seventh place. And in last place, with the most amount of suds, is the liquid dish soap, which had so many suds even after 10 minutes that they still went all the way to the top. This photo was taken an hour and 45 minutes later, which gives you an even better idea for just how long some of these bubbles linger. Now imagine these bubbles lingering inside of your washing machine even after a rinse and drain, and you can start to understand how a detergent buildup can form. Excessive suds in laundry are bad. They can prevent your clothes from getting clean, can make your washing machine and your clothing smell bad, and can even break your washing machine. This experiment demonstrates why it's so important to use the correct products for your laundry and your machine. Don't fall for the laundry detergent hacks and the homemade detergent recipes. There are already plenty of products on the market specifically designed and engineered for your laundry needs. And
Alright, so I like what she said. I'm glad she actually brought up a lot of good information. Now, know what's funny? I was thinking of a story about a lot of times when I hear customers tell me like, oh, I'm not seeing any suds in my clothes. I put all this in here, I still don't see any suds at all. And my thing is, I'll look inside the drum while it's going and I'll see that, well, they put too many clothes, one, and then two, they either put the detergent in the wrong section. So just to kind of appease them and because they want to see suds, I'll go and get some dish soap, put just a little bit into the dispenser, and next day you see all these suds forming. Oh my god, oh my gosh, what did you do? What product did you use to get all those suds? Don't worry about it. It's something we use special, but it's really just dish soap, and all they want to do is see all the suds to make him feel like it's clean. But typically when I do that, after the wash is done, I will go right behind them and actually do a sanitizing cycle, just because I know how much soap build up after they used it. So, but yeah, dish soap definitely does generate a lot of suds. So does a lot of the powders as well. Now, one of the things she didn't bring up, she did mention that, because of the suds creating this type of film, it's not really agitating the clothes well, and also it leaves the dirt. Another thing that happens, it's a theory, I'm not sure if it's quite true, but because the residue of soap scum is still left in your clothes and is going into the dryer, you are now essentially getting those those chemicals in the fiber of your clothes. And what's the biggest organ on the human body? It's the skin, and the skin constantly absorbs chemicals and impurities and everything around. So essentially the clothes that you're wearing is absorbing even more chemicals, which can potentially, in my theory, be a cause of a lot of the cancer issues that a lot of females see with breast cancer or skin cancer, because you're essentially getting those chemicals being absorbed from your clothes. Your skin is absorbing the chemicals from your clothes, and especially those who are sensitive to detergents, which is why a lot of people are using free and clear now. You can still get an irritation if you're using too much free and clear detergent, because you're still getting a chemical being left on your clothes. So again, something I say and something she's saying too as a repair tech, you don't need that much suds. Well, you don't need that much detergent to clean your clothes at all. Just use the measuring cups that come with your detergent to actually get your clothes clean like you need to. Now, if you're just looking for the smell to make you feel like it's actually clean, there are other ways to get your clothes to smell great. There's a Downy rinse liquid that you can use, perfectly fine, just so you can get that extra boost. You have the Downy Unstoppable Fireworks, whatever the laundry bee fragrance boosters. Use those. Don't use extra detergent just to get that feeling of oh, my clothes smell so great, they must be clean type of feeling. All right, so that's it on this review. If anything, hopefully you got some great information from her and my little tidbits in this video. And hey, if you like it, I love it. I don't know what to say. But hey, this is another episode of Laundryverse. Just know I don't know how to end this, quite frank. Soon as I get comfortable with these videos, you know, I'll figure out how to end this. But again, that's just another episode with Kevin William on Laundryverse. And peace.